It's 7:45 in the morning. You've asked your kid to put on their shoes 4 times. Your voice is getting louder. They're still sitting on the floor, doing nothing. And somewhere in the middle of that moment, you hear yourself say something you immediately regret. Sound familiar? Here's the thing nobody talks about. It's not the shoes. It was never about the shoes. The nagging, the arguing, the daily battles, they're symptoms. And if you don't understand what's actually driving them, you can try every trick in the book and still end up exhausted, frustrated, and feeling like a bad parent every single night. I've been there. Most parents have. And the worst part? The more you nag, the more you need to nag. It becomes a loop, a negative spiral that gets harder and harder to break. Your relationship with your child slowly erodes, conflict by conflict, day by day. But here's what changed everything for me, and for a lot of parents I've talked to. It turns out that reducing conflict isn't mainly about discipline. It's about connection. And once I understood that, everything else started to make sense. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 concrete strategies rooted in how children actually think and feel that will help you break that spiral for good. Not by becoming a stricter parent, not by giving in to everything, but by understanding what's really going on. Let me start with something that sounds almost too simple. Strategy 1, invest 15 minutes a day. A dad I know, let's call him Daniel, had a 7-year-old who turned every evening into a battlefield. Dinner, bedtime, homework, everything was a fight. Daniel was doing everything right. Consistent rules, clear consequences. But nothing was working. Then someone told him to try something radical. Just spend 15 minutes a day doing whatever his son wanted to do. No agenda, no teaching moments, no phone, just him and his kid, fully present. 3 weeks later, the evening meltdowns had dropped dramatically. Not because Daniel had found a better punishment system, but because his son finally felt like he mattered. Here's the research-backed truth. Children who don't get enough positive attention will find other ways to get your attention. And conflict is one of the most reliable ways to do it. A misbehaving child is often just a child who's running low on connection. So the first strategy is this. Schedule dedicated one-on-one time with your child every single day. Even 15 minutes counts. And when I say dedicated, I mean it. Phone face down, no multitasking, full attention. Let the child choose the activity. Let them be in control of it. And here's a small but powerful detail. Instead of saying, I can play with you if you want, say, I want to play with you. That shift in language tells your child something important, that they're not a duty, they're a joy. Strategy 2, flip the attention ratio. Now this one requires some uncomfortable honesty. Think about how many times you talk to your child in a given day, and ask yourself, what's the ratio of positive moments to corrective ones? For most parents in high-conflict routines, the answer is tilted heavily toward the negative. The goal to work toward is roughly 5 positive interactions for every 1 corrective one. That sounds like a lot, but here's how you actually do it. It's not about fake praise. It's about noticing. When your child is sitting at the table quietly, say it out loud. Look at you, sitting so calmly. You're not labeling them as good or smart. Instead, you're describing what you see them doing. That specificity makes children feel truly seen. This builds a foundation of positive attention so that when you do need to correct something, it doesn't land in a relationship that's already running on empty. Strategy 3. Understand the need behind the behavior. This strategy is the one that most fundamentally changes how you see your child. Every behavior has a need behind it. A child who runs around at the dinner table instead of sitting, maybe they need movement. A child who is clingy and whiny, what do they need? Probably connection, belonging, to feel close to you. When you start asking why before you react, something shifts. You stop seeing a defiant child and start seeing a child who is trying, clumsily, imperfectly, to meet a very human need. This doesn't mean letting kids do whatever they want. It means responding to the real problem rather than just the surface behavior. Strategy 4. Read the room, emotional states. Now we get to one of the most practically useful frameworks I've ever come across for parenting. Children, just like adults, move through different emotional states throughout the day. Think about it in 4 levels: everyday, escalation, chaos, and tapering. The state your child is in determines everything about how you should respond. When they are in the farce chaos phase, the tantrum is in full swing. There is no reasoning happening in that brain. This is not the moment for lectures or logic. Your only job here is to stay calm, back off enough that you're not fueling the fire, but stay close enough that your child doesn't feel abandoned. Just wait it out. And then, the tapering phase. The storm is passing. Don't rush back in with, "Now let's talk about what just happened." Let them come down fully first. Offer comfort, closeness, a hug if they want one. Your calm is literally the regulation they can't yet provide for themselves. Strategy 5. Use natural consequences, not punishment. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, you need to hold a line, and that's okay. There's a difference between a natural consequence and a punishment. A natural consequence is directly connected to the behavior. If you won't put on your pants, you can't come to the store. It makes logical sense. A punishment is arbitrary. If you don't come now, no candy on Saturday. The child learns compliance through fear, not understanding. Natural consequences keep the focus where it belongs. A few things to keep in mind. Be patient and be consistent. That said, natural consequences aren't the first tool to reach for. Distraction, connection, needs analysis, those are all better when you have the bandwidth. Natural consequences are for when you genuinely don't. So, let's bring it all together. Reducing conflict with your child isn't about becoming a more powerful authority. It's about becoming a safer, more connected presence. The 5 things to start with. 1. Give your child 15 minutes of undivided, child-led time every day. 2. Aim for 5 positive interactions for every corrective one. 3. Ask why before you react. 4. Learn to read your child's emotional state and match your response to it. 5. When you need to hold a line, use natural consequences over arbitrary punishment. None of this is about being a perfect parent. It's about being a present one. Before you click away, I want to try something with you. Pause for a second. And without looking at any notes, try to recall, what were the 5 strategies from this video? Just say them out loud. If you can do that, they'll actually stick. So give it a shot. What do you remember?